What's up, guys? Welcome back to Project Garage. Today we are going to be removing the steering stem off the Yamaha Raptor 660R, and the reason we're doing that is because it's bent, so we're going to remove the steering stem off and put in a new one. Now I already got the top end for the most part torn apart here, so let's get into it. Alright, so like I said, I got this mostly torn apart. I got the front fender off here. I pulled the gas tank off and the handlebars. So the handlebars, they just sit right on top of the steering stem there. And then that's four bolts on top. You're going to pull those 4 bolts off here. And you're going to pull those handlebars right off. I got a computer system on mine. So I pulled that all off. Pulled the gas tank off. 2 bolts over here. You pull all your front fender off here. So we're replacing this steering stem because it got bent when I hit something, or when somebody hit something that was riding it. And we're also going to be replacing the kill switch here. But for now, steering stem, you're going to take off these 2 bolts right here. It's going to be this bolt here and this bolt here. There's this metal flap here. Get a flathead, bend that metal flap so you can get your socket on there. You're going to take those off, so you go ahead and remove those 2 bolts. Hang on to them, keep that whole assembly, you're going to need it. So we're going to just pull those out. We got that free, that's loose. Then you're going to come down to the front of the bike here, and underneath here, there's 1 bolt right here. I got it loose already. I pulled out the metal pin that's in there. You're going to have to bend a metal pin, it's a safety pin. And then you're going to pull this 1 bolt off. Sometimes it's seized on there. Mine was definitely seized on there. I use this stuff called PB Blaster. I soaked it in it, let it sit overnight, and then I took a blowtorch to it, heated it up. That worked pretty well. Give it a crank. Make sure you get that loose. So you got a bolt there. I used the socket here, the 7/8 socket, deep socket, to pull that out. It might be a metric bolt, but that socket worked fine on it. It fit perfectly. So you're gonna pull that off, and there's a washer on there too, which just fell down. So we got the washer. You're gonna need that. This is your steering arm that can pull down and pull off there. Mine was already pulled off because I had this pulled off already. But pull down that steering arm, and then take a hammer, sledgehammer, or I used a mallet, and you're just going to start beating that up the best you can. Once you get that free, you just give it a yank. There you go. Alright, so we got the old steering stem out here. As you can see, it's pretty bent. It's not supposed to be bent. So we got the new one over here. We're going to put the new one in, so we're going to get rid of this old bent one. Yeah, I did a quick spray, half of it black real quick with the matte black. Just a quick spray paint on it. You'll only see from about here up, but just to make it look nice. Now on the steering stem down on the bottom, you'll notice these grooves. There's 1 groove in particular here with a little notch in it. You're going to want to line that notch up underneath here. I got my flashlight there. So there's a little tiny hole right there. You're gonna line the notch up right by looking through there. You're gonna need a flashlight here, so you're gonna wanna look through that hole and line the notch up here with your tires so that it's straight. What I did here was I actually flipped the bike up. It's drained of its fluids. This is a kind of harder procedure to do if you can't get underneath it. I did it so I could see better and show you guys. You don't have to flip your bike over, but I flipped it up. You're gonna adjust your wheels straight, line it up, push it on, screw that bolt down, and then there's a pin, a cotter pin. It's gonna go through there, through that hole, and then you can bend it just so that's like a safety so it doesn't come off while you're riding. There's no possible chance for that bolt to spin off. So that's important. Make sure you have that cotter pin just in case. So let's put this together here. All Alright, we got our pin all lined up there, twisted on, just a safety pin. We got our bolt tightened down and it lined up. The wheels are looking pretty straight, so we're looking good there. We're gonna bring the bike down and put the handlebars back on. Right, so now we're back on the top. We got the bike flipped over. We got the new steering stem in. So we're gonna put this piece in next. Little plastic piece, and it's got these two seals. Make sure you don't lose those seals. You're gonna need those. So the way that works is that's gonna go, this plastic piece is gonna go, you're gonna open it up. Sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. And you're gonna put it in just like this. You're gonna have the seals on the top and the bottom. You can see where the seal marks are. So you're gonna pop your seals in there, and then what you're gonna do is you're gonna piece that together, bolt it in. There's also, on the bolts, when you took it off, you'll notice there's also these metal brackets. You bend those tabs down once you tighten the bolts down. That'll ensure that it doesn't come loose and move around. You don't want that coming loose on you. Gonna line that up there just like that. Make sure your rings are in there. And that's a 10mm socket. So we're just gonna tighten that, or actually, I'm sorry, that's not a 10mm socket. That's a 12mm socket. Sorry, most of the bike is 10mm. But that's a 12mm socket, so we're just gonna get the drill in there, tighten that up. Then we'll do a good hard hand crank on it. Alright, so now let's hand crank it on there pretty tight, and then we'll bend those tabs back, the two metal tabs. We got our metal tabs back, bent back, and that's tightened down. Now we're gonna put the handlebars on, and I have this nice high set of ATV bars that I bought from Pro Taper, and then you'll see there's marks on them. So you really don't need to pay too much attention to the marks. You just want to make sure your handlebars are center, and then you're gonna want to sit on your bike and adjust before you tighten it down. So you can put your bolts in there, loosely tighten it down. Now I got a computer system, so you might have just a plate, but I have a computer that I installed. So loosely tighten your bolts down so that they're lined up, and then adjust your handlebars by sitting on it and getting it comfortable. So I got these partially tightened down now. This is a 6mm Allen wrench. Yours might be different. I got aftermarket screws because of the Pro Taper handlebars, and not only that, but the computer system and plate. So the plating came with new screws. So now that it's loose, you want to just make sure those handlebars are center and put them where you're comfortable riding. So put your hand on the throttle, see where you're comfortable, and then you're just going to tighten those bolts down. There you have it. You just got to put your gas tank back on and your plastics with your headlights mounted back up, and you're good to go. I'm not doing all that yet because I'm going to do some more work on this machine, but that's how you replace the steering stem. I hope you found this helpful. Give this video a thumbs up if you did. Comment any questions or thoughts down below, and stay tuned for more videos, more work. And thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you like these videos, and I'll catch you later.